have a rant today. And I would like to say this. Rant. Please stop faking health conditions. Health conditions are not a thing to joke about. And you should never joke about a disorder or anything like a disorder. Because it's a bad idea to joke about health conditions. And faking health conditions will eventually lead to someone with an actual health condition to be denied. And then they would potentially die. It depends on the health condition that they have. And faking health conditions is never a good idea. And why, you may ask? Well, simple. Faking health conditions can cause someone who actually suffers from a actual health condition to basically die. And basically, health conditions are never a thing to joke about, and if you're wondering why, here's a reason why. Oh, here's a few reasons. One, faking a health condition will get people to call you cringe and make people say, "What the fuck is wrong with you? Go get some fucking help." If you think faking a health condition is serious, really fun. And two, people would end up dying because they were not treated for their health condition, because many people are faking and making other people think that the actual sufferers are faking as well. And three, it's disrespectful and rude to people who actually suffer. Like, let's take Jenny, for example. Jenny suffers from multiple problems, health conditions, depression, asthma, PTSD, and epilepsy. She notices many people faking each health condition she has. And then one day when she goes to get treatment, she's denied because many people saw those fakers and thought they're faking it. And then when she came in to get her treatment, they're like, "You don't have a health condition, sorry, we can't give you treatment." She ends up dying of asthma because she was denied, thanks to the fakers out there. Faking a health condition is never a good idea because, one, it will get people to call you cringe. Two, it can ruin your reputation, especially in the workforce. Three, it can cost other people's lives, especially if it's a serious health condition. And four, it will make people look at you as if you're a criminal, because they don't like it when you disrespect someone. And I think in some places, disrespecting someone, especially if they have a health condition, is a crime. I'm not sure about other places, but you can check on them. And basically, fourth reason is disrespecting someone by faking a health condition will just make them not like you, and basically would call you out, and who knows what could happen. And all health conditions are nothing to joke about. Like, epilepsy is not a thing to joke about too. And I know what it's like to have epilepsy. Epilepsy is never a fun thing to have, especially with all the types of seizures you can have. You can have a drop attack, which would be just randomly falling to the ground. You can have a tonic-clonic seizure, or a grand mal seizure as they're known as, which will be very embarrassing, especially since if you have your only pair of clothing on 24/7 and you ran out one day and you end up having a grand mal seizure in front of many people, it'd be embarrassing because they would see that you pissed yourself. And I've known what it's like to have a grand mal seizure, even though I had it like twice. My brother had it more than me, and we've pissed ourselves in our grand mal seizures because uncontrollable muscle contractions, or uncontrollable muscle movement, basically. It was like that sort of thing. I did that as an example. And I know what it's like to have petit mals, which are absence seizures, which would be like zone outs, basically. And sometimes there can be someone blinking like this multiple times because they could be having an absence seizure. And that's if they have epilepsy. I know what it's like to have epilepsy, and it's very bad. Every health condition is pain and suffering. And if you think it's fun to have a health condition, you must be crazy and stupid and much more. Or you must have been dropped on your head as a baby. Seriously, stop faking health conditions. It's not fun to have a health condition. I've known that health conditions should never be a thing to joke about. And faking health conditions is never a good thing, because people would need to get actual treatment for their actual health conditions. And come on with made up conditions just proves that you're stupid or crazy. I've known that faking health conditions is never good. Epilepsy is one disorder you cannot joke about. And epilepsy is a condition or a disorder where the nerve cell activity in the brain is disrupted, which causes seizures. And it can be a result of a genetic disorder or an acquired brain injury. I have a skull on the back of my head, but you can't see because it's covered with hair. But I have a skull on my head, which basically was the result of me getting stitches for the healing process of after my head injury, which was falling onto the radiator head first, which the head injury resulted in my epilepsy. And I know epilepsy is a pain, especially since after you get out of the grand mal seizure, you have a swollen tongue and weak limbs. My brother had a fucking swollen shoulder because of a grand mal seizure he had the other day. And it was like between benches on the porch in the backyard. Never joke about health conditions. And I know what it's like to have a health condition, and you don't. Just because I mention how I feel about health conditions doesn't mean you have to be like, oh, I can understand. I relate to you with that. I do not know your medical history. I only know my medical history. And I know about my family members' medical health medical health history and medical history. Don't have, fuck, speech stroke. Anyways, yeah, faking a health condition is never a good idea. And it can make people who have actual health conditions think that they're getting bullied and such. Also, in the workforce, faking a health condition and saying, "Oh, I had time blindness, so I couldn't get to work on time. Please give me accommodations." That's one way to get your ass fired, especially if you're working in a team type of job, teamwork job, like police force or something. You'd have to be aware of everything, and you must be on time to work, because if you're not on time, that will give your team a fucking bad reputation, and that will lead to you getting fired. And your coworkers would look at you like, "Bitch, you're bad. You failed us," and so on. And time blindness is basically when you're too focused or enjoying something and you forgot that time passed. That happens a lot, and it's not a health condition. It's a natural thing that happens to everyone, especially with someone with ADHD, someone with a job that they like. Example would be my dad. My dad enjoyed working on trains, making model trains to sell at work, and my dad enjoys that he lost tracks of time. And so my dad would have to have an alarm on his phone to say, that says, "Hey, time to stop work, time to get on the train platform to get home." Basically, that's how my dad has to do things. Have an alarm for a time to get ready to get to work, and a time to get ready to leave work. And I know many people have faked a health condition, and I don't know them personally, but I know how many did. And I know that that's discriminatory behavior towards people with health conditions. It's being like a racist, but ableist, basically. And it's really sickening. And faking health conditions really bothers me. It makes me think, okay, these people want the actual sufferers to fucking die. It makes me literally think that. And that bothers me a lot. That makes me just want to jump off a cliff. Because this world is so fucked up that no one knows who's actually suffering a health condition, all because of fakers doing it for attention. And that's a bothersome thing to me. And it pisses me off so much. I wish we had a better reputation.